Hi, this is David from MashOT, and I'm really excited for today's review because I didn't think Dell would ever put a Ryzen CPU in an Alienware. So here, for 2021, we have a slightly redesigned Alienware M15 chassis with a choice of Ryzen 5800H or 5900HX CPUs, and also a choice of a 3060 or a 3070 RTX GPU. Now I'm going to get the moan out of the way first in case Dell is listening, but why Dell? Why do you give with one hand and take away the other? Where is the 3080 option, and where on earth is the 17-inch version with the Ryzen? Right, okay, so the rant's over, let's take a look at the laptop. This is the Dark Side of the Moon version. It's the only colour available in this new design, and for me it's quite a refreshing change to get the dark side in because the last few revisions I've always had the Lunar Light version. The Alienware Legend design is still looking great, with the lit alien head on the power button, the rear lid, and the Tron ring around the exhaust vents. Looking to the left side, you can see exhaust vents, an RJ45 port, and finally a headset jack. Switching around to the right hand side, and we've got two USB 3 ports and more exhaust venting. Then if we look to the rear, we have USB-C with DisplayPort, USB 3, and an HDMI 2.1 port, and finally a power jack. Now, being Ryzen, there is no Thunderbolt port, and Alienware have now removed the amplifier port, but they had discontinued the Alienware amplifier quite a while ago. Now, on the bottom, we see the usual honeycomb venting that lets in plenty of air into the laptop. And we're going to quickly take the panel off and have a look inside. So finally, after the R3 and the R4, we're now back to socketed RAM slots. This is brilliant because you can now upgrade the RAM yourself. That was something I really didn't like about the R3 and the R4. Also, we have two M.2 ports. Now in this model I've got a 512GB, which is unusually a 30mm M.2 SSD. Now you can take that out and put an 80mm in, and I will show you that further video later on because it's not a quick swap over. We've also got a socketed Wi-Fi card, unlike the R3 and the R4, so you can upgrade that yourself, and it has an 86 watt-hour battery in here. Okay, so let's open the laptop and take a look inside. Now Dell have included the auto power on, so when you open the laptop it automatically powers up the laptop. I find this a really nice feature, but if you don't like it you can disable that in BIOS. And as we look at the deck you can see that it's the same Dark Side of the Moon colour, and gone is the soft touch finish, which I was never a big fan of anyway, so I'm not going to complain about that because I did pick up oils and dirt really easily. This has got a nice matte finish that doesn't seem to pick up a lot of fingerprints, so it's quite useful when you're using the laptop with sort of oily or dirty hands. The trackpad is precise and the gestures work well, but for some reason it does feel a little bit cramped to me. I guess I've been using sort of the XPS and the MacBook Pro sort of larger trackpads. So this isn't the largest, but it does work well and the gestures are accurate. Moving up to the keyboard, you get a choice of a membrane or a mechanical keyboard. I've got the mechanical keyboard option on this one here. We've also got another model coming in with the actual membrane keyboard. We will do a follow-up video comparing those keyboards. But this mechanical keyboard feels just like a blue switch with quite a heavy stroke. It took me a few minutes to adjust, but I'm really enjoying it now that I've actually spent some time on this keyboard. Now, as I have said, I will do a follow-up video just on this keyboard later on, so I'm not going to focus too much on it here. But the one thing I'm not a fan of is the new layout. I much preferred the layout on the old previous M15R4. But this new keyboard on the M15R5, we've got media keys to the right-hand side of the keyboard. That has caused me a few misclicks when I've been typing on the keyboard, where I'm not quite used to having keys to the right of the actual enter key. Obviously this is something I think you get used to very quickly, and it is obviously nice having dedicated media keys, so I'm going to hold out on the verdict on that one for the moment until I've used the laptop a little bit longer. Above the keyboard is not actually speakers, this is more intake venting. The speakers unfortunately are downward firing and they sound like this. So this is the speakers at 30% volume. %. 60%. So as you can tell, the speakers aren't bad. They're not obviously the best laptop speakers I've ever heard, but they're more than usable. Not quite as good as the M17R4, but certainly better than a lot of the other game laptops that are out there. Now moving up to the screen, this model has the 1440p 240hz G-Sync panel, and wow, what a screen. Any of the niggles on this new model have just been blown away by this panel. This is the panel that should have been in the M15R4. It's bright, it's colour accurate, and the resolution is the perfect middle ground where text looks incredibly crisp and sharp, but you can still drive it with your RTX GPU. The good news is there's also advanced Optimus included in this model and a mux switch. You will just need to go to BIOS to change that. On the top of the screen, we have the webcam and the mics. So this is what the camera and the microphones look and sound like on the M15R5. And also, this model includes Windows Hello facial recognition, which is definitely my favourite way to log in. Okay, so now onto the section we've all been waiting for, the performance. So we're going to start with the Ryzen 5800H CPU scores. Now these are right where we expect them from an 8-core Ryzen CPU, and they absolutely destroy the 10th generation 45-watt 8-core CPUs that are in other Intel gaming laptops. As you can see in the single core and the multi-core score of the Geekbench 5 CPU benchmark, the 5000 series offers a nice improvement over the previous generation 4000 series, especially in the single core scores. Now this is an area that Intel has always been ahead of the Ryzen processors, but finally with the 5000 series, they are now pushing ahead of the 10th generation scores. Obviously, the 11th generation gaming laptops are just starting to launch, so as soon as we can get our hands on one, we will be comparing them. Moving over to the GPU side, this model has 125 watt 3070. Now this is a bit of a shame compared to the previous M15R4s which had 140 watts, but it's still a lot faster than many other 3070 laptops out there. Gaming on the 1440p screen is absolutely brilliant, and the RTX 3070 manages to push the 1440p resolution really well. Now I did also test this actual panel downscaled to 1080p in case you want to boost your frame rate, and gaming still looked great at 1080p on this 1440p panel. Now with regard to temps, in typical Dell fashion, this machine runs hot. Benching the laptop with both Unigine Valley and Cinebench to totally load the system brought the temps right up. The CPU will sit between 85 and 95 degrees centigrade, and the GPU will be in the late 70s. Now the good news is, the fan noise is pretty impressive. Whilst gaming, it will sit between 49 and 50 decibels, but with no annoying fan whine that you often get with slim laptops. Now the laptop does get pretty warm externally, but the keyboard never got too hot to be uncomfortable to rest your hands on, so you're not going to get sort of sweaty palms like you can do with some laptops, but the bottom did get quite toasty. Now we will be following this video up with a performance deep dive and gameplay videos in a few days, so please subscribe if you are interested in that. So I've been playing Apex for a while now. This is running at 1440p, and we're running all max settings. Now yes, it's not the most demanding game, but you can see that obviously it's really incredibly smooth. In typical Dell fashion, the CPU does spike right up into the 90s, but it is incredibly playable and it looks amazing at 1440p. And with this panel, it's so responsive, it just feels really smooth. Now, I've had a few rounds now. The laptop is warm, it's not overly hot. The fans have cranked up, but they're not too aggressive, and there's certainly no whine. But all in all, it's an incredible experience. I'm going to go back and enjoy it. Okay, so I've just dropped it down now to 1080p. You can see that it still looks great even at 1080p. My frames have obviously jumped up accordingly. Now, you can obviously feel this is slightly off mesh, but once you're playing, you're not even going to notice it. So if you do have some very demanding games that you can't run it at 1440p, you'll have no problems running it at 1080. Now onto battery life, and I have to say that so far this is not good news. I had high hopes with this new Ryzen generation that, obviously much better at power consumption than Intel. But this configuration lasted for 4 hours 30, streaming YouTube video over Wi-Fi at 50% brightness and 50% speaker volume. Now this does feel a bit off to me, so I'm going to investigate this further, and I have also received the M15R5 with a 1080p panel, so I will also be testing that as well to see how the battery compares and to see if I can improve the battery on this panel, because it doesn't seem quite right. Okay, so on to the conclusion. Now I've been waiting a long time for a Ryzen Alienware, and although there are a couple of small niggles, such as the average battery life and average speakers, and the lack of the high-end GPU, I think Dell have put together a really solid package. This model comes in a lot cheaper than the M15R4, yet provides better CPU power, a quieter system, and finally, an amazing 1440p 240hz panel, which is just the icing on the cake. Also, the build quality is solid, and they have clearly listened to the complaints about the soldered-on Wi-Fi and RAM modules. All in all, this has been a really impressive laptop. Well, I hope you've enjoyed this video. Please leave any comments and questions down below and I will get back to you. And also, please consider subscribing if you wish to see the further content we've got planned for these Alienware models. And lastly, thank you for watching.